we continue to explore the avenue of the 7 Hebrew letters on the path of the seeker. Today's letter is Resh. Resh is the letter that begins the Hebrew word for Holy Spirit. Edward Hoffman explains, Jewish mystics insist that each of us are capable of great intuition, even prophetic vision, depending on our diligence or efforts. For the Jewish people, prophets are not something relegated to the past, but could step forth even today. Resh also begins the Hebrew word for breath. Breathing has been associated with the Holy Spirit. Breath obviously involves the element of air, and Edward Hoffman connects it to meditation. Breathing meditation can be very beneficial. I can testify to the fact that knowing how to breathe properly during stressful times can determine whether or not you'll experience anxiety or a panic attack. Resh also begins the word for healing and healer. Hoffman connects healing to the act of meditation. Meditation can be an important part of the self-healing process. Even modern medical doctors admit that an upbeat attitude helps speed recovery. Hoffman explains that Jewish healers weave mind, body, and spirit together. True effective healing must occur at all 3 levels. Daniela Abravanel also focuses on meditation when explaining Resh. However, she points out that Resh starts the word for noise and head. She explains, meditation can help us to block out external noise, allowing us to reach the silence and serenity that, according to the sages, is the beginning stage of prophecy. She also points out that there are 2 negative words with which Resh is associated, Ra, which means evil, and Rasha, which is the word for an evil person. Interestingly, the Hebrew word Ra can be read backwards, forming which means aware. This suggests that the answer to Ra, or evil, is which is awareness. There are 2 holidays associated with Resh, Rosh Chodesh and Rosh Hashanah. Chodesh is the root for the Jewish word innovation. This suggests that during Rosh Chodesh there is an opportunity to be mentally innovative. Rosh Hashanah is the head of the year, and that is a far deeper subject. The Hebrew word for year has the same root as the word for transformation. During this holiday, the Jewish people have the opportunity to transform their awareness so that they do not sleep through the year, but continue to develop spiritually. This process of choosing of where they place their focus and attention is symbolized by the Jewish energy practice involving prayer boxes on the head, arm, and hand. The prayer boxes create a wise head and helps connect the heart with inner wisdom. Abravanel connects this practice with pressure points from the Chinese acupuncture system. The particular points associated with the prayer boxes elevate the spirit and clear the mind. The box on the forehead stimulates the front lobe, and on the back it puts pressure on what Abravanel calls the primitive reptilian part of the brain, the medulla oblongata, that are related to the kindness and deep unconscious desires that reside within the shadow aspect of the person's psychology. When it comes to Resh being associated with Ra, noise, and Ra'ash, evil person, it might seem like a paradox, but Abravanel explains that evil encourages mental noise or dissonance, and that evil and noise feed off of one another. Meditation is an effective method we can use to silence the noise and negate evil. Resh also starts the word for will. Good mind makes us kings. According to the oral tradition, the word king, Melech, is an acronym for mind, heart, liver. Explains Abravanel. That acronym represents the 3 areas stimulated by the Jewish prayer boxes. She explains, when we learn to find quietude and relaxation, we can access the powerful mental energy of the subconscious mind, the gate to prophecy. By living in the present moment, connecting to our senses, relaxing, and letting the imagination assume control for a few minutes every day, we can start to make the subconscious our ally instead of our enemy. Well, I won't go further into this subject since I discussed this in my Shadow Work Traveler's Notes video, which I'll attach in the description box below. Resh is a deep and meaningful Hebrew letter, used for a lot of important words and with a lot of important associations. I think it's clear, however, the path of the seeker, improperly understood, can cause chaos and evil. There have been many cases where people set themselves up as gurus or leaders within disciplines, and then betray the trust of those who follow them. The desire for power over others in all its forms has no place on the path of the seeker. Though I do not know where the quote came from, I have heard that the path of the seeker can either turn you into a devil or a saint, depending on the purity of your heart. The symbol for Resh, to me, reminds me of the ascending part of Kaf. Again, it looks like the ascending smoke of incense or an exhalation of breath from someone looking up on a brisk winter's day. Now it's time to get out your journals. I'll attach the sound meditation blog link in the description box below. Well, I hope that you have found this subject as fascinating as I did. For now, remember to meditate in whatever manner you can each day so that you can cultivate that wise head. Thank you, brave soul, for joining me on the path of the seeker. May your day be